Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Fanboys, be advised, this video contains the absolute truth, may cause hurt feelings, and the need to thumbs down the video. The double standard between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is impossible to ignore. One guy is hated and the other is celebrated. Let's just break down the facts. And you know, facts can't be biased. And we start off with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has been called a hype job. He's been called a diva. He's been labeled a ducker. People said the guy don't want any smoke. The guy's, he's being made up. He's an Instagram star. He's not a good fighter. They ignore his skills. They ignore what they've seen in the ring. They ignore his trainer. They ignore anything that relates to boxing with Ryan Garcia. They only focus on social media, and they come with all these narratives about the kid. He's only 21 years old and a prospect. But yet Ryan Garcia is in negotiation to fight the biggest step up of his life in a guy like Luke Cool Hand Campbell, a certified, bona fide, top 10 level fighter who's never been knocked out, who gave Vasyl Lomachenko a very tough test, and even Lomachenko said that Luke Campbell hurt him. So this would be a great step up fight of a top 10 level fighter for, a guy like Ryan Garcia on his way to get a title shot. So I think the fight makes all the sense in the world, and I think it's in a massive step up. So you got to give Ryan Garcia the credit, but yet he's still getting all this hate. But on the other hand, you see Devin Haney states that he's in negotiation with Yuriorkis Gamboa for a fight. They're trying to close the deal on that fight, but that fight is garbage truck juice. And yet there's no hate for this fight. There's no backlash for this fight. There's no talk of this fight. I mean, think about who Yuriorkis Gamboa is. This guy is basically a 40-year-old chinny fighter who's been knocked out 3 times in his career, who's been dropped over 15 or 16 times in his career as well. This is a Yuriorkis Gamboa that's coming off of a knockout loss in an Achilles injury. So you're going to fight a guy coming off a knockout loss and an Achilles injury who's already chinny. And this is going to do nothing, who's pushing 40 years old. What is this fight doing for you? This guy's not in his prime. He's coming off an injury and a knockout loss, and he's extremely chinny. This fight does nothing for you. And mind you, we got to keep the same energy between these two guys. I mean, look at Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Yes, they're both 21 years old, but here's the big difference. Ryan Garcia is still at a prospect level. Devin Haney's actually got a belt, and he's been labeled a champion. So if you're being labeled a champion, isn't the standard higher? We have to be honest and unbiased about it. The standard is higher for a champion than it is a prospect, or you cannot call this man a champion. You got to be real regardless of their age. And then when you look at Devin Haney, I've been hearing a lot of fanboys come out and say things like the guy's the boogeyman. And you hear that from Devin Haney himself, basically stating that he's the boogeyman at 135. Nobody's calling me out. Teofimo, Tank Davis, Vasyl Lomachenko, none of them 3 guys have called me out. I've called all 3 of them out. None of them called me out. That's not a coincidence. But when you break down this further and really look at the truth of the matter, you see that Vasyl Lomachenko stated on his Instagram account that basically that Devin Haney has fought nobody, and now he's saying he's going to knock me out. He knows I'm ready. I think he's ready, and we can give the fans what everybody wants, and he labeled Top Rank Boxing. So basically, he's basically open to the fight with Devin Haney. So if you're the boogeyman, why is Vasyl Lomachenko responding saying we could make that fight? Why is Teofimo Lopez coming out and I quote, and he says, we're trying to make these fights happen, and I'm being honest, we've been working, and the fact that these guys don't want to fight, that they want tune-up fight, or they want something else, is frustrating. We don't need no tune-up fight. Me, my father, and manager, we said if we can't get Lomachenko, let's make the Devin fight happen. They reached out to Eddie Hearn, and we haven't gotten a response back. Now, here's the thing. You can't say Teofimo Lopez is lying when he's facing the most dangerous fighter in the division in Vasyl Lomachenko. So why would he be lying about Devin Haney, an unproven guy at the top level, when he's willing to fight Vasyl Lomachenko? And we already know Teofimo Lopez is an extraordinary knockout puncher. And so we don't believe anybody in the division, at least right now, has the kind of power that Teofimo has. So at the end of the day, has Vasyl Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez coming back? Teofimo says he's made an offer. Vasyl said we can get it on. And then you even see Devin Haney get called out again by Gary Russell Jr., a guy in a lower weight class. So, how are you the boogeyman and all of these guys want to smoke? You're not the boogeyman, you're the booty man. We got to keep the same energy with Ryan Garcia that we keep with Devin Haney, that we keep with Ryan Garcia. I think the thing is that, people look at Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia because these guys have similar age and say, well, both of them at a prospect level. Well, one's already a champion, so the standard is higher. So if you're going to treat everybody equal and fair and be unbiased about it, why is Devin Haney getting a pass for bum bashing as a champion, but Ryan Garcia has to step up fighting a guy that's younger, who's never been knocked out in his prime? They gave the best fighter in the division all kinds of problems, but yet Devin Haney can turn around and face an old, washed out, chinny fighter coming off an injury and a knockout loss. You got to be honest and unbiased. The double standard has to stop.